Hi there, welcome back. Okay, so this is part 2 of lesson 7.3. I'm going to show you how to find the missing side lengths of a three-dimensional rectangle. So these are rectangular prisms. So they're like shipping boxes if you think of it that way. So I'm going to show you how to find the missing side lengths for rectangular prisms, folks. Okay, so now this is a rectangular prism, a three-dimensional rectangle. So now if you were to ship something in this box, for example, this pen, so if you were to lay it flat, that's not the longest side, flat on the bottom. Even diagonal flat on the bottom is not the longest side. So the longest side in a shipping box, a three-dimensional rectangle, is from the very top corner of one end diagonally across the center to the bottom corner of the other, like that. But you've got to find the bottom diagonal first before you can find that one. So 2 parts for these problems. First part, so we're going to find this diagonal on the bottom if you were just to place this pen like on the bottom of this box. So now if this length is 3 feet long, then this length is 3 feet long. Because this is a rectangle on the bottom. So now let's find the very bottom diagonal here. So if this is your right angle, these are your legs right here. So in a squared plus b squared equals c squared, I'm going to use 3 and 10.5 as my legs. So 3 squared plus 10.5 squared equals c squared. All right, 3 times 3 is 9. 10.5 times 10.5 is 110.25. Now I'm going to add these two together. So that equals c squared. So 9 plus this is 119.25. And now I'm going to find the square root of both of those. So this bottom diagonal is 10.9 feet long, 10.9. So I'm going to write that in. 10.9 is this bottom diagonal. Okay, so now I'm going to find this diagonal that goes from the very top of this corner to the very bottom of this corner through the center of this box. So now I'm going to use this side that I just had, this side that I just found, and this height of the box, which is 3.5, because this is 3.5, then this is 3.5. I'm going to now use the bottom as a leg and the height as a leg to find this diagonal going across the center through this box. So now 3.5 and 10.9 become my 2 legs. So now part 2 of this, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Again, 3.5 and 3.5 squared plus 10.9 squared equals c squared. So now 3.5 times 3.5 is 12.25. 10.9 times 10.9 is 118.81. Now I'm going to add these two together, and I get 131.06, and now I'm going to square root both sides because I just want c, not c squared. So the square root of this number, and if I round to the tenths place correctly, is 11.4. So folks, you can see that this diagonal, if I place my my object from the top of one corner to the bottom of one corner, this is the longest side inside of a shipping box, a three-dimensional. Okay, so now let's try another one of those. What if we had to draw our own picture? Because that always helps if you can draw a picture. So let's take a look at this number right here. So what's the measurement of the longest line segment of a right rectangular prism? So this is a three-dimensional rectangle. So now let's draw our box. So the way you do this is you draw a rectangle. So just draw a rectangle for me, and then go up and to the right and draw another rectangle so they're overlapping like this. And then you can just connect the 4 corners like that. So now you've got a three-dimensional rectangle. So let's label these sides. So it says 16 centimeters long. This is the length, 16. 9 centimeters wide. This is the width, how wide it is. And then 7 centimeters tall, 7. Okay, so now that we have this label, let's find, remember, this is a 2-part, three-dimensional have a 2-part. You've got to find the bottom diagonal first. So that means that these two, 16 and 9, are our legs. So let's do that first. 16 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. Okay, so 16 times 16 is 256. 9 times 9 is 81. Let's add these two together because they're on the same side. So that's 337. And then we're going to square root both sides. So the square root of 337 is 18.4. 18.4. So this is 18.4 now. That's the bottom diagonal. Okay, so now folks, part 2 is now I'm going to find the diagonal from the very top corner through the center to the bottom corner. And that means now I'm going to use the side I just found as a leg and then my height as a leg to find that diagonal. Now I'm looking at this triangle inside. So 7 and 18.4 become my new legs. So 7 squared plus 18.4 squared equals c squared. Okay, so 7 times 7 is 49. 18.4 times 18.4 is 338.56. And now I'm going to add these two together. So that equals 387.56. And then I'm going to square root both sides. So again, round correctly to the 10th place, 19.7. Okay, so that means 19.7 would be my final longest side right there. That is the longest side. Inside from the very top to the very bottom corner through the center of that box. Okay, let's try one more, folks. Let's try one more of those because those are a little tough. So let's take a look at this shipping box. I'm on page 400 if you want to join me and try it. So we're going to ship these posters in this box. So again, it's labeled for us. All we have to do is 2 steps. Let's find the bottom diagonal. If I were just to lay the poster on the bottom of the box diagonally, let's find that. So that means 20 and 8 are my 2 side lengths, my 2 legs. I'm going to use those first. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's do 20 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. Okay, so 20 times 20 is 400. 8 times 8 is 64. Let's add these two together. And I have 464 equals c squared. And now I'm going to find the square root of 464. So that is 21.5 when I round correctly. So the bottom diagonal is 21.5. Now I'm going to find the diagonal from the very top corner of my box all the way down through the center of my bottom corner from one end to the other through the center. So now that means if I'm looking at this triangle like this, I'm going to use 21.5 as a leg and 12 as a leg to find that new length right there, that hypotenuse. So I'm going to use the one I just found as a leg and 12 as a leg. So 21.5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. Okay, so 21.5 times 21.5 is 462.25. 12 times 12 is 144. Let's add these two together. So this plus this is 606.25, and then I'm going to find the square root of that. So the square root of that number is 24.6. So 24.6. So folks, look, we can find, if we place our posters inside this box from the top to the very bottom through the center diagonally, that is definitely the longest side, 24.6. All right, thank you for watching.